Okay, so the gravel bike build starts tonight. Um, so here's the parts that I went with. We've got the Trek Checkpoint SL 58 centimeter frame. It's a carbon frame set. I was going to buy the whole bike. I was actually started off with an aluminum bike, and it wasn't going to be available till January. So I asked about the carbon bike. It wasn't going to be available till December. And they said, what size are you? I said 58. They said, well, we have this frame set and we can build it up. So I said, okay, even though I knew it was going to be more expensive. So I started ordering parts, and then I realized that, or found out that the parts are also back ordered. But I was able to get some of these from bike shops around, as well as eBay, and even overnight parts from Japan. It's that lever right there. That comes from Shuhai. That's the guy's name in Japan. And it's also the name of my favorite sushi restaurant, which is funny. But I told him that too. He got a kick out of it. But that showed up, and that was about the last piece I needed, except for a chain. Chain still has not arrived, and the guy on eBay hasn't shipped them, but I'm pretty sure I can get a chain just about anywhere, so it's not going to hold up the build. So, wheels I went with here are the Sunringle Deore XT. This is a newer kind of gravel / mountain bike wheel. 29-inch size, or 700C. The good thing about picking parts for a build is you can pick whatever you want. So that's what's great. You get all the parts you want, nothing you don't want, unless it's just not available. Up here I got the WCS, Ritchie WCS gravel bars with a little flare at the end. Those are the 46 millimeter width. I got a Callaway Uno stem, which is a really lightweight stem. It's also not very expensive. The stem's 27 bucks. I think the bars are 110. I got the GRX810 levers, and I'm doing a 1x setup, so I got the 11-speed right lever, and then the left lever is just brake only. There's no shifter, there's no dropper post control. Because I didn't want to dropper post because they're heavy, and I don't want to add any weight. This is going to be a reasonably lightweight build, except for the wheels. Let's say the wheels are more durable training wheels. I can always get a lighter set of wheels. But reasonably light build without going crazy expensive. So the brakes, the GRX810 brakes, were not available. So here I got the Ultegra brakes, which I tend to think are the same brake. And then I picked up the XT brake discs in 160 millimeter. These are pretty light, and they will work with the Ultegra calipers. I don't think there's a whole lot difference going to the Deore Ace. The Ultegra caliper has the ceramic piston in it, and I think Deore Ace just pretty much changes the finish, shaves just a couple grams. So no sense in paying a whole bunch more money for them. I'm doing a GRX810 crankset here with the Hollowtech 2 arms. Saves around 100 grams off the 600 GRX 600 series, with the risk that at some point the arm may separate, at which time, if it does, hopefully they warranty it. I've had the Deore Ace with the Hollowtech on my road bike, and I put a ton of miles on that, and I've never had an issue. And I've been over 200 pounds quite a bit climbing up hills, so that's a lot of stress on a crank, and it's been fine, so I'm not too worried about it. Because I want some shock absorption because of my back issue, I'm going with this old Specialized carbon seat post with the Zyrtec inserts, like an elastomer in the post. That served me very well on my road bike for a long time. It's reasonably light as well. I just happen to get a lighter one for the road bike. And this is going to be my main ride here, just kind of one bike to rule them all. My concept for the build is a very durable road bike, essentially, that I can put a bunch of miles on, but I can also climb hills and ride reasonably quick on it. So it's like a road bike that you don't have to worry about the bumps on. I'm doing cable. I thought about Di2, and the more I thought about it and the length of the back orders, I tend to think that Shimano's going to go wireless like SRAM did, and I don't want to be stuck with like the old generation Di2. So I just went cheaper altogether and got cable. Since there's only one derailleur, there's only one shifter with a cable, so I figure why have all the complexity of the battery system and then having to charge it and risking being stuck somewhere without it charged up and all that. You know, cables have just worked for years and years and years for me, so I'm doing that. With the added bonus that it was available sooner and it also is less expensive for the shifter and derailleur. The battery alone costs almost as much as the shifter, so that's kind of crazy. On the back here, I'm going with the Deore XT cassette. This is an 11 to 42. 42 is the largest cog that this GRX810 derailleur is suited for, so that's what I went with. And then 11 is going to be plenty small. The smaller you go, the more driveline drag you get. So I didn't want to go any smaller than 11. It is 11 speed. And then I'm going with a 40 tooth on the front instead of the 42. I wanted a reasonably low ratio because this is going to be a hill climb machine. So I want to specialize in climbing hills, even though I'm myself kind of heavy for a hill climber. It is my favorite thing to do. It's just pure suffering. That's why I like it. Because if you do it better than the next guy, then great, you know, it's awesome. Deore XT pedals. I'm trying the SPD cleats out. I got some Giro Rincon mountain bike shoes with the 2-bolt cleats with some good cleat contact patch there, or the pedal contact patch here. So hopefully that'll make good contact with the sides of the pedal. We will see. I have not been an SPD cleat kind of guy, but I'm going to try it. Got a carbon bottle cage, just something generic. Got the new Wahoo Wahoo Bolt 2. What is it? I got the box over here. Yeah, Element Bolt version 2, which I have been using actually for the last couple rides, and it is really cool. Links up with Strava. The seat I'm using is the Cell Italia Flight Titanium, which was my favorite seat in the mid-90s. The shell and the rails seem to have a good amount of flex in them. So even though it's a very lightweight seat, it's like 230 grams, I remember it being very comfortable, so we'll find out. The axles, these are the ones that came with the Trek frame. They do sell lighter versions on eBay from J&L, I think. But I may get those in the future. Those are an easy swap. Those don't have to be done in the original build. Plus they're like 40 bucks plus shipping, so I don't exactly need the gram savings at the moment. So anyway, that's the start of the build. I'm going to start putting this stuff together. This is some foam hose sleeve for the wires. So when they get routed, this Checkpoint frame has a really unique headset setup where all the cables get run internally through the down tube and the headset. So it looks very sleek, but it looks like it's going to be a bit of a pain to route. So that's the overview of the build. I'm going to get going on this, and we'll check in on the next one. You guys have a good one. Thanks for watching.